Sex trafficking isn't just a distant crisis, it's happening right here, in our own cities and neighborhoods. It's not limited to faraway places or unfamiliar faces. It's woven into the fabric of our daily lives, often hidden in plain sight. The reality is that this crime can touch any community, regardless of wealth, size, or location. We often imagine it as a problem over there, but the truth is much closer to home than we'd like to believe. Trafficking can happen in the suburbs, in small towns, and in bustling cities alike. It's not just an urban issue or something that only happens in developing countries. Trafficking thrives in the shadows of everyday life, along highways, in motels, and in communities just like ours. It can be found in places we pass by every day, places that seem ordinary, but may hide extraordinary pain. You don't need a passport to find it. It's a fact confirmed by law enforcement and survivors alike. Local police, social workers, and advocates see the signs every day, working tirelessly to bring victims out of the shadows. Whether driven by war, poverty, or addiction, the outcome is always the same: stolen freedom and dignity. Vulnerable people are targeted, their circumstances exploited by traffickers who profit from their suffering. My work as a filmmaker has shown me the common threads connecting survivors from Iraq to Cincinnati. No matter where they come from, their experiences echo with similar pain, courage, and the longing for justice. Their stories, though different, reveal a universal fight for hope and survival. Each survivor's journey is unique, but all are marked by resilience and the determination to reclaim their lives. Recognizing this connection transforms trafficking from a remote issue into a personal one that demands our attention. When we see the faces and hear the voices of those affected, it becomes impossible to look away. In this video, we'll explore how trafficking operates both as a weapon of war and as a hidden crisis in American cities. We'll uncover the tactics traffickers use, and the challenges survivors face in seeking freedom. We'll also highlight the people and programs bringing hope and healing to survivors. From counselors to volunteers, these are the heroes working to restore lives and rebuild trust. This is a story not just of darkness, but of resilience and the possibility of change. Together, we can shine a light on trafficking and help create a future where every person is free and valued. Sex trafficking is a form of modern-day slavery, where people are forced, deceived, or manipulated into commercial sex acts against their will. It's a hidden crime that thrives in the shadows, exploiting the most vulnerable members of society. Traffickers use force, fraud, or coercion to control their victims, stripping them of their freedom and dignity. Traffickers prey on vulnerability, using violence, threats, psychological abuse, and even addiction to maintain control. They may isolate victims from friends and family, making escape seem impossible. The trauma inflicted can last a lifetime, affecting every aspect of a survivor's well-being. Often the trafficker is someone the victim knows, a partner, friend, or even a relative, using false promises of love, work, or a better life to lure them in. This betrayal of trust makes it even harder for victims to seek help. Victims are isolated, stripped of their freedom, and trapped in cycles of debt, dependency, and fear. Many are moved from place to place, making it difficult to find stability or safety. In conflict zones like ISIS-controlled Iraq, trafficking was used as a weapon of war to terrorize communities. In the US, it's often fueled by poverty, homelessness, and addiction, targeting those with few options. Major events and transportation hubs, airports, bus stations, and even sporting events can become hot spots for trafficking, as traffickers exploit the chaos and anonymity of crowds. It's crucial to distinguish trafficking from prostitution. The key difference is consent. Trafficking victims have no real choice, while prostitution involves adults who are not coerced. Without consent, it is always exploitation. Many people arrested for prostitution are actually victims of trafficking who need compassion and support, not punishment or blame. Our justice system is slowly beginning to recognize this reality, shifting its focus to prosecuting traffickers and providing help and resources for survivors to rebuild their lives. Understanding these harsh realities is essential if we want to fight this crime and protect those at risk. Trafficking adapts to its environment, whether in cities or rural areas, but at its core, it is always about exploitation and control. Recognizing the signs, reaching out to victims and supporting them is the first step toward real, lasting change. Only by seeing the truth and standing together can we begin to dismantle these systems of abuse and offer hope to survivors. Under ISIS in Iraq, sex trafficking was not hidden, it was policy. The group's reign of terror was marked by systematic brutality, where the suffering of innocents was not a byproduct, but a deliberate strategy to instill fear and control. Women and girls, especially from the Yazidi community, were openly bought and sold as part of a campaign of terror. Families were torn apart and entire villages were targeted for abduction, leaving communities shattered and traumatized. ISIS built a bureaucracy around slavery, with price lists and official documents for women and children. These chilling records reveal how the group normalized the commodification of human lives, treating people as property to be traded and exploited. Survivors endured relentless abuse, stripped of identity and family, and forced to witness unimaginable violence. Many were subjected to repeated assaults, psychological torment, and the constant threat of death. The trauma was both physical and psychological, leaving deep scars that persist long after escape. For many, the pain lingers in nightmares, flashbacks, and a profound sense of loss that is difficult to put into words. Children born from these atrocities added new layers of pain and complexity for survivors and their communities. These children, often stigmatized and isolated, are living reminders of the violence their mothers endured. One woman I interviewed lost 12 children to ISIS. Her story is a reminder of the staggering human cost. Each loss represents a life forever changed, a family forever broken. These stories must not be forgotten. They show trafficking at its most extreme and weaponized. The world must bear witness to these crimes and honor the resilience of those who survived. The experience in Iraq reveals how trafficking can escalate into a tool of genocide. It is a stark warning of what can happen when hatred and dehumanization are allowed to flourish unchecked. The wounds left behind will take generations to heal. Yet, amid the ruins, survivors and their families continue to fight for justice, dignity, and the hope of rebuilding their lives. We must remember these stories to prevent such horrors from happening again. Only by acknowledging the past can we hope to protect the future. The most powerful testimony against trafficking comes from survivors themselves. Their stories cut through statistics, revealing the raw human cost. I've met women whose trauma is etched in their eyes, pain that words can barely describe. One young woman was sold multiple times in a single day, her sense of self obliterated. Another mother was forced to watch her daughter taken by an ISIS fighter, a sound she'll never forget. These stories aren't just about physical suffering. They're about the destruction of identity and humanity. The pain radiates outward, shattering families and communities. Survivors' courage to share their experiences is a call to action for all of us. Behind every statistic is a person whose life was stolen. We have a moral obligation to listen, bear witness, and act. Their voices demand that we see trafficking as a violent personal violation, not an abstract issue. Only by hearing them can we truly understand the urgency of this fight. Trafficking isn't just a foreign crisis, it's woven into the fabric of American cities like Cincinnati. Cincinnati's location at the crossroads of major highways makes it a prime hub for traffickers to move victims quickly and anonymously. The opioid crisis has created a vulnerable population, with traffickers using addiction as a tool of control. Poverty and lack of opportunity make people easy targets for false promises of a better life. Large events bring spikes in trafficking activity, showing how deeply the crime is integrated into city life. Traffickers exploit the city's infrastructure and rhythms, hiding in plain sight. The problem is not isolated, it's part of the everyday reality for many. Recognizing this is the first step toward change. Addiction and poverty are powerful tools traffickers use to trap victims. Traffickers target those struggling with substance abuse, creating dependency, and using drugs as leverage. Victims are forced into commercial sex to feed their addiction, with traffickers controlling every aspect of their lives. Trauma bonding can make victims feel loyalty to their abusers, complicating escape. Poverty deepens the trap. Promises of food, shelter, or care quickly turn into exploitation. Manufactured debts and financial control make escape seem impossible. Breaking this cycle requires more than law enforcement. It demands holistic support. Survivors need help with addiction, housing, and trauma to truly recover. Without comprehensive support, the risk of being re-trafficked remains high. Addressing root causes is essential to ending exploitation. Amid the darkness, organizations like Weightless Anchor in Cincinnati offer hope. They meet women where they are, building trust and offering compassion without judgment. Their drop-in center provides basic necessities, showers, meals, medical care, and most importantly, dignity. Staff and volunteers offer emotional support, counseling, and help navigating services. They guide women through the process of recovery no matter how many setbacks occur. This consistent support is often the first step toward a new life. Weightless Anchor bridges the gap between the street and long-term recovery. Their work proves that healing begins with connection and restored dignity. They are on the front lines, lighting the way out of exploitation. Many survivors first encountered the system as criminals, not victims, due to prostitution charges. This criminal record becomes a barrier to rebuilding their lives. Change Court in Hamilton County offers a new path, one focused on healing, not punishment. Instead of jail, survivors enter a 2-year, judge-supervised treatment plan addressing addiction, trauma, and life skills. The program is rigorous, with regular court hearings, drug testing, and therapy. The goal is empowerment, not conviction. Successful graduates have their charges dismissed and records expunged, opening doors to a new future. Change Court represents a shift in how justice is served for trafficking survivors. Investing in healing breaks the cycle and gives survivors a real second chance. The scale of trafficking can feel overwhelming, but we all have a role to play. Start by educating yourself and others, learn the signs of trafficking and share that knowledge. Support journalists, filmmakers, and advocates who expose these crimes and amplify survivor voices. Donate to or volunteer with organizations like Weightless Anchor and support programs like Change Court. Your time, skills, or financial support can directly impact a survivor's life. Be a conscious consumer and advocate for stronger anti-trafficking laws in your community. Ask your elected officials what they're doing to address this issue. If you see something suspicious, report it. The National Human Trafficking Hotline is a vital resource. Sometimes, one call can save a life. This isn't just a problem for governments or police, it requires a vigilant, compassionate society. Change starts with awareness, but it grows through action. Together, we can shrink the shadows where traffickers hide. The fight against trafficking begins with you.